What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sir Broski back with the next part of our Mass Effect Let's Play series. We are going to go to the Presidium level on Citadel again.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Embassy Lounge.
Reporter Kalisa Al-Jilani recently attempted to land an interview with Commander Shepard, the first human Spectre. Commander Shepard answered difficult questions, demonstrating that under that military uniform is a keen diplomatic mind. We'll have exclusive footage later today.
Human delighted welcome.
Yes, Shepard? Did you find my sister?
Dahlia's dead, and I know she was blackmailing you.
So the truth comes out. I hope you're not angry. Surely you can understand why I lied to you. If people found out my sister was a criminal, I'd be considered a security risk. They'd revoke my clearance, or place me on administrative leave until she was apprehended. That is why I misled you. I could not risk you exposing me. But now that Dahlia is out of the picture, it's no longer a problem.
I would have helped if you just told me the truth.
Perhaps you're right. I am sorry. We have trust issues in my family.
Obviously.
I shall transfer a little something into your account as a token of my appreciation. I'm sure you'll find the amount satisfactory.
You're a diplomat on her way up the ranks. It could be handy to have a Spectre who owes you a favor.
You make a good point. Anyone can come up with credits, but I can give you authorization to purchase prototype Asari mods. I will get you added to our manufacturer's preferred client list. I think you'd be very interested in what they have available. Goodbye, Shepard. It has been a pleasure doing business with you.
Sometimes I envy your biotic abilities, Doctor, but then all your people have such skill.
While the Asari have natural biotic abilities, not all have the desire to learn to use their abilities effectively.
Of course, I intended no disrespect to the effort you have put into your training. Pardon me.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Message coming in, Commander. Big surprise, the Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the Hulking Eta cluster. He's attracted a number of followers, mostly biotics. He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
I'll look into it.
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as some kind of religious leader.
I might be able to end this without violence.
You serve with him. He might listen to you. But he's already killed 2 Alliance representatives. I trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Did I die? Oh shit, I did. Oh god. I'm starting to get that stomach feeling again. shit, no. Crap.
See? Thanks, Mom. Really, I feel better. Yeah, no. Like, I haven't even been able to cry for ages. I thought I'd dried up.
Sometimes there's just so much beautifulness in this world that it's almost hard to live and exist. I've been going through this time period recently where I'm unable to cry. Sometimes it shows up.
Kelly and I were emailing a lot around the time that she and Elodie had this instant messenger conversation. The way Kelly described it, she just was sick of going behind Elodie's back. She felt like it wasn't fair for her to only get part of Damien's attention. It just wasn't fair for anyone. So I think she wanted to tell the truth, mostly just to get it out in the open.
Elodie and Kelly had a feud. And, you know, Elodie told her she needed to back off or something bad would happen to her.
In a matter of weeks, something very bad is going to happen to me. It was just an ordinary day. What I have no way of knowing is that I have only hours left to live.
And all of your tears never come. These are my secrets like gold as you pretend you're innocent till all of your fears become
Laura went away for the weekend, came back on Monday, and Kelly, she was missing.
The dog wasn't taken care of. She missed work, which weren't typical of her.
She made a coffee date with Rachel, and she missed that too.
We just go out, we take a report.
As far as you know, no one has seen her the last 2 days, correct?
Yeah.
Is this hers?
Tell you what, if you can think of anything else, I would really appreciate you giving me a call. Thank you.
Excuse me. Are you here about Kelly?
I am.
I heard what happened. I'm Kinsey Nordman.
Detective Fitzmaurice.
She was my best friend. I just want to do whatever I can to help.
Of course. Do you have any idea where she might have gone after work that afternoon? Or who she might have gone with?
And she mentioned to me that Kelly had been involved in the use of illicit drugs. And she started to explain to me how Kelly was able to access those drugs.
Well, there were these two guys. Kind of creepy older dudes.
Can you describe these guys?
Like late 20s, early 30s.
I knew that she was dabbling in some drugs and buying them sometimes, so it seemed possible that something had gone wrong.
The local drug dealers, Jim Duncan and Bob Kirkland, quickly become the #1 suspects.
Jim and Bob were saying they were involved in the disappearance of Kelly Bullwinkle.
As it turns out, after I vanished, they had been arrested for car theft and are already in custody.
It was just talk. I swear. A joke. That's a pretty messed up thing to joke about.
In Redlands, everybody gets involved.
Do the right thing here, Bob. For her mom. Tell us what you did with her body, at least.
Based on the information we received from this informant, they had robbed Kelly, killed her, that they had shot her.
Look, I can prove it, all right? I mean, you already know about the car theft and the other stuff, but there's more, right? There's this girl.
Jim and Bob's alibi was they were on a crime spree across Redlands. It included thefts. I believe the final one was sexual assault. You're getting pretty desperate when you're confessing to things like burglaries and sexual assaults as the alibi for murder. You knew that they had guns, and you wouldn't put this past them doing this, either over a drug deal or over, who knows, it could have been sex. These are our guys. We just have to prove it.
Detectives are closing in on Jim and Bob, but they still have no idea where to find me. And whether I'm alive or dead. After I go missing, the police zero in on a pair of drug dealers, Jim Duncan and Bob Kirkland. A search of their apartment turns up a mess of possible evidence, bloody clothes included.
Make sure the lab does a full run-up for DNA. Hair prints. Check for everything.
This was a very strong lead. We had multiple people saying these individuals were involved in Kelly's demise.
Jim and Bob will remain in custody for offenses unrelated to my disappearance. After 11 days missing, detectives hold out little hope for finding me alive. But my mom is not giving up. She finally made it back from sea and is able to join the search.
We wanted to get the word out, and the best way to do that was to get a family member to go live on television.
Friends and family flown in from everywhere from Florida, Northern California, Arizona, all over, and just did great support. And I just wish she would know how loved she is.
It was on TV, it was in the newspaper, everyone was talking about it. I mostly just remember a constant sense of dread that something really bad had happened.
In early October, we received a phone call from 3 young men who were playing paintball games in this area that's known as Ghost Town. They observed what appeared to be a human appendage sticking up from the ground. We find a body underneath a couch, just half a mile at most where she lives. So even though it wasn't confirmed, I knew it was Kelly. And I think all my partners did too. We secured the Orange Grove and began a forensic examination of that location.
Shell casing. 25 caliber.
We found a 25 caliber fired cartridge case located in the grave next to the body.
Let's get that to the lab too.
The next day, an autopsy confirmed the body is mine, as well as revealing a definitive cause for my death.
There were 2 gunshot wounds. There was one that we believe came from the front, and there was one that then came from the side. One was like a graze wound, and then the second one is most likely what killed her.
They had said that they had found a body. Right then that we knew it was her. Who would do this to her? Who would do this to her? When they found her body, I was standing in front of a tattoo parlor, and I got my first tattoo of a broken heart because I knew that she was dead.
At the time of our initial investigation, we recovered a computer that was believed to be Kelly's, and we located a large treasure trove of electronic exchanges between Kelly, family, and friends. Shortly before Kelly was reported missing, she'd had a blow-up confrontation with Elodie.
You know, now I see why you dress like some stupid, depressed hippie, you freaking virgin.
Whoa. What you got?
Elodie Romero made a statement telling Kelly to back off because she would hate for anything bad to happen to Kelly. We had to look at it as a threat, so we had Elodie come in for an interview.
I want you to calm down. You understand you're not under arrest. You came down here voluntarily.
When I interviewed Elodie, you could tell she was upset.
You obviously know why I'm talking with you, right? Because of the homicide.
She did not exactly like Kelly Bullwinkle because of the affair with her boyfriend Damien.
If you had anything to do with Kelly's homicide, now's the time to tell me. You would deserve it.
Could Elodie be on the verge of confessing to my murder? When she found out that I was cheating with her boyfriend, Elodie threatened me in an instant message. Now, the police want to know if she was angry enough to kill me.
Kelly was trying to break you guys up.
Kelly Bullwinkle was a pain in Elodie's side, so we had to eliminate Elodie as a possible suspect or having any part in the Kelly Bullwinkle murder.
Your boyfriend Damien, he had a fling with her at one point, right? Because she was trying to throw that in your face.
Just because we weren't talking at the time didn't mean I didn't care about her a lot. Just because, like,
I know.
With everything that's going on with my boyfriend, I really care about her.
She had an alibi the night of Kelly's murder, and all the timelines matched up that she gave us.
Aside from one little threatening instant message, she had nothing to do with the murder of Kelly Bullwinkle.
So we decided to bring everyone in and conduct new interviews.
Including Scott Simonson, Kinsey's cousin, and a good friend of mine.
What do you think of this?
Turns out, he spilled some very important beans.
It's killer, Kelly. During that interview, I just asked him if any of the friends had any weapons or carried knives.
Hey, where's that Dead Can Dance CD? Whoa.
That's when he told me that he had seen a gun in Damien's glove box.
Put that back.
Damien came into our interview room, and he seemed like a normal kid, kind of arrogant.
So, September 13th, where were you?
With my girlfriend. I was helping her move for most of the day. Then Kinsey and I went to dinner and a movie after. Movie sucked.
I think the movie started at 9 o'clock, and he was with Kinsey, and the movie got out at about 11 p.m., and then he dropped off Kinsey at Kinsey's house on the east side of Redlands, and then he went to Elodie's house.
And both Kinsey and Elodie will vouch for this story. Definitely.
And what's funny is I asked him at one point, do you have a gun? And he says, no. Then we knew that was a lie. We confronted him about the gun, and it was the classic, oh, that gun.
Forgot about that thing. It's my brother's. He bought it off a guy in Ukaipa.
Does he have a name, this guy in Ukaipa?
Josh. Something.
Where's the gun now, Damien?
I got rid of it.
He said it was his brother's. It made him feel uncomfortable, and he threw it in a gutter near a grocery store on the west side of town. So after the interview with Damien, we searched that gutter pretty extensively. We tore up the street, didn't find a gun. So I go out to Josh Curtis's house, and he tells me he had a .25 caliber pistol. Josh? Yeah. And he had sold it to Damien's brother. I can show you, yeah. So I asked him, did you ever shoot this gun? And he says, yeah, I fired one magazine out here behind my house about a year ago. So we were on our hands and knees for about 2 hours and found 3 fire cartridge cases. Bingo. The crime lab then compares the 3 fire cartridge cases we found to the one we found near Kelly's body. That's when we're kind of like, okay, this may be our guy.
In our investigation, Kinsey and Damien had said they were together on the day that Kelly was killed. So we contact Kinsey and ask her for a voluntary interview to provide us with some additional information.
You're not going to be arrested, but we need to know the truth. This is your chance. This really is your chance, Kinsey. Damien pulled the trigger, didn't he? I don't know, isn't that?
Kinsey probably believed that she was just going to come in and spew her crap again and just tell us a bunch of stuff we wanted to hear and then walk out, because she's been doing that for 2 months.
What you gotta hope for is that nobody ever says a word about your involvement. But that's all you guys are waiting for, though. I mean, for somebody to confess to this stuff. No, we're not waiting for a confession. What does it matter? We care less if Damien confessed or not. We have enough to convict him.
My impression of her was, I'm hiding something.
We've laid it out for you. We know you know the truth. What was your involvement? It was minor, wasn't it? This is a case of love, drugs, little betrayal, emotions, friends that got way out of hand. You're making a huge mistake by not telling your side of the story. I'll tell. I'll tell. Hey, we're just still waiting for him to get off work and come meet us down there. And he was just gonna bring a gun and scare her, and that was gonna be it.
I don't think he's gonna show.
I felt like I was hanging out there for like 2 hours just smoking weed. And I was like, screw it, Cal, let's go get some tacos. I need him, David.
Don't go now. The fun's just about to start. Let's go explore. Come on. Follow me.
Okay.
Then we went down to the
down where she was found, and she was standing by the hole, because we went on Friday to dig a hole there. We were walking around at night trying to find a place, thinking, oh, this is going to be some fun, stupid day. We're going to...
So you and Damien dug the hole
We dug the hole on Friday night, yeah, and then the shovel was still there. She was laughing at it with me.
It's a fresh shovel. Damien, Kelly said there's a fresh shovel.
When I look at Kelly's on the ground, like, that's what happened. And she was making these noises.
Did you shoot her again?
I did. I shot her again.
She's in pain. You have to shoot her again.
I can't. You do it.
It's jammed.
And it was stuck, and I was stuck, and you had to fix it.
You had to rechamber around?
Yeah.
And then how close are you?
I got real close, because I've never shot a gun before, so I wanted to get close, I guess.
Okay, pretend I'm Kelly. Put the gun out.
But I probably not that close.
After Kinsey admitted that she and Damien had shot Kelly Bullwinkle 2 times, we knew this was first-degree murder. If it's a prank gone bad, why didn't you call an ambulance? Why didn't you help her? She's your friend, right? Well, she wasn't her friend. These were evil kids. They knew how they were going to lure her down to the canyon, what they were going to do for their alibi after the murder, and so we were able to prove all those facts.
Ultimately, we found out that Kinsey and Damien had actually exchanged rings similar to the actors in Natural Born Killers. So on some level, you can see where their bond is based on this fantasy environment to where they are above the law, incapable of committing violent crime. But we had no confession from Damien to use at his trial.
Kinsey and Damien had one trial with separate juries. Kinsey is the first to learn her fate.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Kinsey Jean Norton, guilty of the crime of first-degree murder as charged in count 1.
Kinsey was convicted of first-degree murder and received a sentence of 45 years to life for the killing of Kelly Bullwinkle.
Damien saw the writing on the wall and made a plea deal. And with that plea deal, the boy I thought I loved is sentenced to 15 years to life for second-degree murder.
One of the things that's the saddest to me is we had graduated high school. I feel like if everyone had just hung on another year or two, they would have moved on to different relationships, different passions in life, different paths, and everything would have been fine.
I was so young and so naive. I thought that I'd found acceptance, found love, but that love betrayed me.
Anybody who knows me will tell you this. I get what I want. A huge house in suburbia, a perfect husband, and 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Hey, hun, do
you know where my pink bra is? The one with the little pink flowers on it?
I do not. You checked the wash?
I worked hard to create this life. Dinner's ready.
Be right down.
And I don't intend to let anything disrupt it.
Safe travels.
Bye.
Tara? Harold, take care of my wife in Puerto Rico. I always do.
The trouble is, I'm about to lose control for the first time I can remember. And the worst part is, I don't see it coming.
Faites attention. Be careful.
Be careful. My name is Tara Lynn Grant. And in just a few months, I'll be dead and gone.
You spend way too much time with him. What about us?
I was born and raised in northern Michigan. You know, woods and hunting and tapping maple syrup. This might surprise some people, but I'm as 4-H as they come.
She was a country girl. As much as she loved where she came from, she always had this urge to leave where she came from. She wanted to explore the world. She knew that there was a lot more than, woods and farming.
Tara came down to Michigan State. She majored in business.
No screens on the weekend.
And she ran into Steven at a party, and they kind of hit it off. They weren't dating yet, but they were friends. And Tara's grandfather died, so she went back up to the Upper Peninsula, which is a couple 100 miles from Lansing. And Steven pops into the funeral. To surprise her, she told him that this makes me realize how much you really care for me, and then that was the beginning of their relationship.
You were up too early. I had plans for us this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Tonight, then?
Okay, let me finish making breakfast first.
I love the weekends. Are you sure you don't want to just quit your job and stay with us every day?
Mm-hmm.
And you look really cute in an apron.
Yeah, not as cute as you do.
That's true.
She was the breadwinner. He enjoyed the fact that his wife was making a lot of money, and he got to just stay at home and be a stay-at-home dad, Mr. Mom.
So, what should we do today?
Play down in the swimming pool.
Tickle fest!
I'm sure we all complain that we work too much. We don't get to spend enough time with the family, blah, blah, blah. But I can pretty much guarantee you don't have nothing on me. I'm an operations manager for an international engineering and construction firm. Every other week, I'm in London or Puerto Rico and even Boise, Idaho. So yeah, I guess you don't have it so bad after all.
So she's going around the world for this job. I'm sure that was very difficult for her. But it was also like her life's ambition to be able to travel, and this job was letting her do that. She knew that her kids would miss her, so she made a point to leave behind little notes to let them know that Mommy's still thinking of you. And she really tried to set up their life so that her absence wasn't a problem for the kids. And, in fact, hired help to make sure that Steven wasn't overwhelmed at home.
I didn't want to wake you.
You didn't. I wanted to see you off.
He wanted to work sort of at his own schedule at his father's tool and die shop. So the idea was, we'll hire some help.
You sure you'll be okay without help this week?
I should be.
Well, the au pair agency is sending someone new on Saturday, and I'd like to be there when they meet the kids.
In worst case scenario, I could always ask Claudette to come back. Relax. I'm joking.
That woman is not allowed back inside my home.
They had some issues with some of the first au pairs. An au pair is somebody who comes from another country and stays with your family. It's usually a young woman.
Hello? Oh. Hello, my loves. Oh, Mommy missed you. Where's Claudette? wearing my dress? Oh, bonjour, Miss Grant. Wait, are those my shoes? My necklace too? Yes, and earrings. Is that a problem? Of course it's a problem.
Au revoir, Claudette.
Au revoir, mademoiselle. You have everything? Be careful, Miss Grant. Be careful, Mrs. Grant. So creepy.
She was an odd one. Always looking at me like I had 3 eyeballs or something. Hey, have a good trip. Nope, Detroit isn't the capital.
Can you give me a hint?
A hint? It's Lansing.
Stephen Grant?
Tina! Oh my goodness!
Are these your kids?
Yes, Lindsay and Ian, this is my old friend Dina.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nina Hardy was a former girlfriend of Stephen Grant's.
Oh, wow, what a nice surprise. Look, we don't want to keep you from your run, but we need to catch up.
Yes, we do.
Here, give me your number.
She was married, and she wasn't shutting down this conversation with Stephen. This flirtation was going 2 ways.
Talk to you soon.
Yes, of course.
We've unfortunately had a lot of bad luck when it comes to au pairs. But the agency has told us that the new girl they're sending over, a German girl named Verena, comes highly recommended. I sure hope they're right about that. Hello.
Hi, come on in.
Thank you.
Here, let me get that.
Oh, thank you.
Verena moved in. She was this really pretty, blonde, very sweet German teenager.
His beautiful house.
Who came to take care of the kids and apparently worked really well with the kids.
Hello. What's your name?
Ian.
Ian, hello.
I like your hair.
I can do your hair like this if you'd like. Yeah? Okay.
Tara started working at the Washington Group, and she shot up through the company fairly quickly. She was also incredibly focused on her career, like a laser beam. That's what everybody said, is she was so focused.
There she is. My hardest worker, burning the midnight oil.
You know me. Her boss was really impressed with her work. They were very close. They'd become friends. He was just bowled away by her professionalism and her energy at work.
What's going on?
We're celebrating.
Celebrating what?
You?
Harold, I really don't have time.
I see a bright future here for you, Tara. You're dedicated, you're hardworking, whip smart. I really see you going places. Maybe even a corner office soon. Working even closer with me.
Well, I'm ready for a bigger job if you're ready to give me one.
I think it's time we start that conversation.
This was a big deal. She was really valued at that company.
It's Saturday night.
It's just Harold.
It's always just Harold.
You're right. I can wait. Sorry.
Nobody told me we were having a slumber party.
Stephen carried himself with incredible confidence. Pretty smooth talking, making little inappropriate jokes.
Everything all right, Verena? A kid glass of water.
Verena seemed to be a naive girl. She had just gotten out of high school.
Sleep tight.
She felt herself kind of falling for him a little bit. It's her boss, you know. Stephen was so flirtatious. I imagine that may have been a source of tension in their marriage.
Why do you have so many clothes on still?
I'd like to fire Verena.
What? Where did this come from?
I just don't think she's the right fit for the family.
What are you even talking about? She's amazing with the kids. She's fun to have around. What more do you want from her?
You're right. Never mind. In my professional life, I've learned to always trust my gut. And if I'd just done that in my personal life, I might not have ended up dead. When the cat's away, the mice will play. I suppose there's a reason cliches like that are so common.
Verena's this young girl. She's in another country. Stephen would show up in the doorway of her bedroom just to talk.
Stephen is so handsome. I don't know if I can keep my hands off of him.
Hello, I did not see you.
That's your diary?
Yes, the book.
Are you writing about how handsome I am?
No, I thought that the day I met you.
Really?
What else should I say about you?
Well, I'm smart. I'm successful.
He portrayed himself as a big shot, and, he was her boss. And I think she had a little something for him, too.
You're also so sparkly.
What does that mean?
Your arms is a sparkle.
Oh, right. That's from work. Lots of metal shavings flying around at the shop.
It's almost like I have a double life. I love being a mom, but I also love who I am when I'm at work. A smart, independent woman who doesn't have to deal with any dirty laundry.
Hey, I am so sick of eating at the hotel every night. Let me take you somewhere else.
I am actually supposed to Skype with Stephen in 15 minutes, so I was gonna head back up to the room.
Live a little. You know what they say? What happens in Puerto Rico?
She was very affable.
Okay.
Her boss was really impressed with her work. They were very close. They'd become friends. This made Stephen question whether they were having an affair. Stephen was so suspicious of Tara that at some point he installed something on his computer that would log keystrokes so that he could see where she was going on the internet and could track her movements.
I'd always worried that being away so much would cause resentment at home, but I never imagined my husband would resort to reading my emails.
Those messages, if you're trying to read it a certain way, it can look pretty ominous. He was very paranoid. Meanwhile, he was the one sending the messages to the ex-girlfriends. Maybe there's a little projection there.
He's flirting with her. And Stephen says in these emails that he thinks his wife is having an affair. He thinks she's sleeping with her boss.
He was clearly frustrated with his marriage. He said, I consider marital vows speed limits. Sometimes you have to break them. Dina worked as a nurse, and so there was a request for a sponge bath, too, from Stephen.
No one. It was a joke with an old friend. Can we go?
You have this dynamic where he's jealous of her and she might be jealous of him, and so the tension in this marriage is really starting to reach a boiling point.
Don't you ever talk to my daughter again. Charles Grant. Do you understand?
Yes, I speak English. Miss Grant, be careful.
Are you threatening me?
I do not understand threatening.
Should I be afraid? Fearful?
Fear, yes. Be afraid.
Tara was strong, confident, and it helped her get through difficult times, but it also was a barrier for her to see herself in danger.
Okay?
Emotion was definitely building in Verena. They had kissed at some point on a family outing. Here to see me off?
Unfortunately, no. I am the bearer of bad news. We'll need you back sooner than expected. We had to move that restructuring meeting to early Monday, so Bev put you on the earliest flight on Sunday.
No, I can't. Sunday's my home day. I promised Stephen and the kids I'd be there.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'll make it up to you.
I already told you, Stephen, it's not my meeting to change.
Tara called Stephen from the airport. She had just landed from Puerto Rico and said, you know, this week I'm not going back on Monday. I have to go back on Sunday. And they bickered about this. He didn't want her to go back.
Tara, this is ridiculous. You tell him you have responsibilities here, too.
Can we talk about this later, please? I'll see you soon. My Friday night drive from the airport is usually a chance for me to clear my mind from work and get into family mode for the weekend. But this weekend will be different. This weekend, I'll be gone. Stephen has been calling me all morning. My cell phone is going straight to voicemail.
Tara, it's Stephen again. I'm so sorry about last night. I understand if you don't want to talk to me, but please, call back for Lindsay and Ian's sake. They really want to see you before you head back to Puerto Rico. Please.
February 14th, 2007, we had somebody come into our lobby and report that their wife was missing, and it happened to be Stephen Grant. We don't usually get people coming in and talking about their wives being missing on a Valentine's Day, but in this particular case, that's the exact day that he came in.
And when was the last time you saw her?
Friday night. She came home from work and we had an argument.
It's not okay.
I have to leave on Sunday, Stephen. It's my job.
No, you don't.
Harold already...
Enough about Harold. You spend way too much time with him. What about us?
You know what? Forget it.
She places a phone call and says something to the effect of, I'll be waiting at the end of the driveway. Dark car comes up, picks her up, and she's gone. And that's the last he's seen of her.
After getting that information, we sent detectives right back to the home and had conversation with Stephen Grant.
So, you left multiple voice messages for her. You think it was odd that she never called you back?
No, I did, but I figured she was just mad at me and needed some time to cool down. Like, you have to understand, she works in Puerto Rico all week. Most of the time, she's not home. Here's the thing. I think Tara's been having an affair with her boss, this old geezer, Harold Wasserman. I thought the two of them might have run off together, at least at first.
He believed that she was sleeping with her boss. According to him, that was what they argued about that night, is that she had to leave early. It's like, well, you're seeing him, aren't you? And, she denied it, of course.
Listen, Steve, I'd like to arrange a polygraph test for you.
Of course. Anything you think will help.
I'm sorry I told them not to come in here.
Would you like to see our house?
Oh, how sweet of you. I'd love to.
You lead the way. We also interviewed Verena. She sort of followed Stephen's story.
Where were you the night she disappeared?
I was out with some girlfriends. As the au pairs were from Germany as well.
And was Tara here when you got back?
No. Stephen told me she left. Sorry.
Had Tara mentioned anything to you about any plans to go somewhere?
No. We do not talk very much. I do not think she likes me.
The police obviously looked at him because the husband said there might be something there.
This is exactly how she left things.
So, when was the last time you saw Tara?
It's at the airport Friday night.
What'd you do after that?
Went home, went to bed. It was a long week.
And how long had Tara been working here?
12 years.
12 years? That's a long time. You must have known her pretty well.
Yeah.
How well?
I'm sorry?
Wow, you worked that long. I mean, you travel together, you work together, hotels, out of town. I mean, things happen.
Things most certainly did not happen.
Did you want them to happen?
Tara was my employee. She was also, I might add, someone who would never just not show up for work.
When somebody makes an accusation about you and they say that we believe you're having an affair and you say I'm not, how do you prove something that, that just isn't happening?
Have you seen this woman? That's my sister.
Alicia, the sister, and her husband Eric drove up from Ohio that day, and they started peppering the area with flyers.
They were really searching and hoping against all odds that something horrible hadn't happened.
Tara Grant lived in this Washington Township home with her husband and 2 kids. The working mom had recently returned from a business trip, but no one has seen or heard from her since.
We reporters don't always cover missing people, but this one really stood out and was huge news.
Police also tell me they've been keeping a close eye on Tara's cell phone and credit cards. They say the phone has been turned off. The credit cards haven't been used in more than a week.
In Washington Township, Hank Winchester.
There's always the concern when the people in the immediate circle don't seem to be the culprit. Maybe it was somebody she didn't know. But I don't think anybody really saw this coming.
It's been a week since I disappeared without a trace.
We're missing one. I want red. It's not here.
My dear sister, Alicia, is helping with the kids. and Verena has stepped up to fill my shoes. Probably more than I would like.
You're the reporter. I'm just trying to find my wife.
Stephen is doing everything he can to keep our story in the news. And he's really good at it. He likes talking.
Stephen kept the case alive. Like, it wouldn't have been front page news if Stephen hadn't been out in front all the time.
I'll call you later with an update. Thanks, Paul.
I have colleagues who were getting phone calls from him 2 and 3 times a day.
I have nothing to hide from you. Stephen Grant spoke with Local 4 on Wednesday evening. He says he has been out of contact with his wife, Tara Lynn, before. But there's never been anything like what's going on now. We didn't know what her travel schedule was going to be from week to week.
About a week after Tara was reported missing, I get an email from a coworker that says, hey, I used to date a girl who also used to date the husband of this missing woman. She has a bunch of emails he sent her. Stephen's writing to Dina about how he wants her to give him a sponge bath. He's flirting with her. And so I got these emails that were a bombshell. It's no longer just a missing wife. You got sex now, you got lies. It's now turned into a bigger story.
When we got the information, we followed up by having conversations with the lady. And you read those emails, you couldn't help but just go, this don't look good.
These are more than just suggestive. You arranged a time to meet.
Yeah, but he canceled.
Why?
He didn't say.
How did it make you feel when he blew you off? Take your time.
It definitely raised eyebrows. Some people were wondering, is she trying to create an alibi?
God, I had nothing to do with this. I should have never shown anyone these emails.
Does she know that these are going to come out anyway, and so she's trying to get ahead of that narrative to make herself look less suspicious?
Come in.
Verena Dirks flew the coop.
Where?
Home. Germany.
It seemed suspicious to us because she didn't waste any time getting back to Germany. It seemed like she could have stayed a little bit longer. We wanted her to, but she wasn't required to stay. But we wanted to re-interview her.
Her name is Verena Dirks, a former Grant family au pair who was living in the home the night Tara disappeared. Verena, who has now returned home to Germany, was one of about 5 au pairs who lived with the Grants in recent years. Police reaching out to them and anyone else with information.
We did have conversation with some of the earlier au pairs that were engaged in the Grant family setting. We got some pretty good information from them.
When was the last time you saw the Grant family?
I talked to Miss Grant about months ago. I see them at a restaurant.
What did you talk about?
Well, I'm trying to tell Miss Grant to be careful, but I do not think she understands me.
What did she need to be careful about?
Well, Stephen is I don't know how to say the word in English. Un voyeur.
A voyeur.
Yes.
Apparently he had this hole in the closet to peep into, the former au pair's room. So he had an interest in these young girls. It was a convenient relationship for him with his wife going out of town all the time. I think he was happy with the relationship and her going to work.
I like Miss Grant. And I love her little girl. You find her for Lindsay, okay?
When you've looked for a person and you can't find her in the normal places, you do get stumped.
You sure about this? Do you have any better ideas?
With nowhere else left to look, the sheriff decides to search the 400 wooded, snow-covered acres of Stony Creek Park, an area less than a mile from my home. It's a shot in the dark.
I didn't really agree with this search. I thought it was a waste of manpower and resources. And there's snow on the ground, so it makes the searching quite difficult.
This is a massive search operation. 150 police personnel out combing the area on ATVs like this one, in the air, and helicopters on horseback. Everyone searching for Tara Grant. family members nervous as police made their way into the wooded areas.
It scares me because the reason they're looking for in the park is because they're afraid something horrible's happened, and I don't want to think that.
By 1 in the afternoon, police had covered hundreds of acres and at least 3 square miles. No sign of Tara.
It's almost kind of a double-edged sword, if you will. We're kind of glad we didn't find her, glad something didn't happen to her. It's almost 5 hours later, 6 hours later, I'm in front of the cameras having a conversation that we didn't come up with anything. But putting it out there is a challenge to the public to say, but if you happen to see something, please let us know, because our end goal here is to try to figure out where Tara Grant is at.
After the massive search of the park, my case stalls for almost a week, until the strangest thing happens.
This woman's just walking her dog and comes upon like a gallon Ziploc tight bag and notices there might be a little blood in here. And everybody in the area is aware that Tara's missing and that there's been a search in this park. So she immediately alerts police.
When we found that baggie, we thought, there's got to be something more to this.
There's hair in it.
Tara's hair is dark brown.
All right, let's get it to the lab.
We're about to find something that we had no idea we were about to find.
The big break came when a dental assistant, who liked to take walks in Stony Creek Metro Park, she notices a bag kind of stuck in the branches of a tree.
You're never gonna believe this. Forensics is in for the Ziploc baggie. That blood, it's human. And the hair, it's from a dog. And there was something else in there we couldn't see. Metal shavings.
There are metal shavings in here, like the kind you might find in a tool and die shop where Stephen Grant works.
Your arms, they sparkle.
That's from work. Lots of metal shavings flying around at the shop.
And there was a piece of hair in there. Looked like dog hair, which was similar to the color of the family pet that they had.
All right, let's get a warrant.
That Ziploc bag with everything it contained finally gave us a chance to go to the prosecutor and go to the courts and say, we need a search warrant. We want to get back into that home.
Stephen Grant went to work Friday morning. He and I talked in the early afternoon, and he asked if I wanted to interview him in the garage.
Stephen was getting ready to do an interview with one of the local TV news people when we got there, so there was a lot of media attention. And when he started coming into the subdivision, they made a traffic stop on him and alerted him to the search warrant.
The police took everyone by surprise, including Stephen Grant.
And all of a sudden, they're seeing Stephen Grant in the back of a police car, and they think they've got an exclusive story. They run with it. And so they're going live. Immediately, because it's all over the news, his attorney is screaming and hollering, you have no right to hold my client, you can't detain him. That's not what the search warrant's for.
You cannot detain him. He is not under arrest.
Copy that.
So the detectives reluctantly say, okay, we'll let him go, but we're going to try to get somebody on him right away. He goes and walks down the street with the dog over to a neighbor's house. He, unbeknownst to us, decides to take off. And there's a reason why, because he realizes we're about to find something inside that home that we had no idea we were about to find. It looked like a typical suburban home. There were kids' toys, clothing strewn about. And then we moved into the garage. In this garage, there were multiple shelves with multiple bins. Our detectives began searching methodically all those bins.
All I got's food so far, you?
Clothes and toys.
This one's kind of heavy.
Open the bin up and then cut away with several layers of plastic bag.
Looks like blood. Oh, dear God.
You could visibly see a torso with a bra and panties on. There it was, clearly in the plastic bag, was a torso. The torso of Tara Grant.
Hey, we've got a female torso. Yes, just the torso. Let's go find Stephen Grant.
And now we got to try to figure out how do we lock into him. He vanished. Our detectives couldn't get on him.
All right. I want patrols all up and down the 53. I
I want the 75 covered as well. One more thing. There were leaves and twigs in that bag where we found the torso. I'm betting he had her body at Stony Creek, and he moved it because he thought we would find it.
Another search?
First thing in the morning.
Where that lady found that baggie is where those body parts are going to be the rest of this. It was clear as day.
So the day after they found the torso, they did a second search of Stony Creek Park, and that's when they found the body parts.
It was kind of the eeriest feeling I'd ever had in experiencing an investigation, where you have people out there searching, and lo and behold, it was in the location.
Meanwhile, my husband, with his flair for the dramatic, calls his sister to let her know that he's on his way to Wilderness State Park to commit suicide.
We're redirecting all our resources here. We're talking thousands of acres of wilderness, so be prepared for a long haul.
It was sub-zero weather. I was hoping that he would just save us all a lot of time and freeze to death.
So he's getting hypothermia. He's running through the snow and he's shedding his clothes as he goes. And the police were able to finally find him. And when they found him, he's kind of like got his shoes off and he's huddled under a tree. He couldn't walk. They had to carry him out, and they airlifted him out on a helicopter, actually.
175, second ambulance. Was that the D6 guy?
Stephen Grant's finally captured.
Today's date is 3/4/2007. Present in the room, Detective Sergeant Kozlowski, Detective Sergeant McLean, and Stephen Grant.
When detectives come in to question him, Stephen gives this very detailed confession about what had transpired over the past few weeks.
What I'd like to do is go back to February 9th, which was Friday.
Terry got home, we had started talking, and pretty much everything I told you up to that point was true.
I have to leave on Sunday, Stephen. It's my job.
No, you don't.
Harold already...
Enough about Harold.
You spent too much time with him already. You don't spend enough time with us. But why? She stopped. So she started to turn around and I grabbed her wrist. And she slapped. Yeah, I lost. I struck out fast. And Tara.
That's it. I'm leaving you and I'm taking the kids.
She said, I'm gonna take the kids. You're homeless. You're a piece of choke. No, just choke. I think at one point she realized that I wasn't stopping. And then it was too late. I couldn't stop. There was no move. There was nothing. I knew then that I had killed him. I didn't know what to do. Okay.
Then he had the job of figuring out, okay, I've done this, what do I do with the body?